African leaders are holding their summit in Equatorial Guinea next month, and one of the issues that would be given top priority is how best to tackle terrorism. The presidents of Nigeria and South Africa at their meeting in Pretoria set up a committee to collate ideas from security operatives about what should be done to enhance the war against terror. President Jonathan's media advisor explains more on the meeting in South Africa, as our State House correspondent Chukuma Onekwusi reports.
Will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa.
President Jonathan was in South Africa for two major reasons: the high-level discussion with other African leaders on how to deal with terror in the continent, and the inauguration of Jacob Zuma for another tenure as the President of South Africa. Special advisor to the President on return told journalists that the security meeting sought the cooperation of all in the fight against terror.
Indeed, the meeting took place, and the meeting was attended by South Africa, also by the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, the President of Ghana, the President of the Republic of Congo, the President of Kenya, the President of Uganda. Côte d'Ivoire was represented by the Speaker of the Parliament of Côte d'Ivoire. And the meeting, as previously announced, focused on the issue of terrorism in Africa. And their excellencies discussed modalities for setting up, for defining a stronger framework for cooperation and partnership among African states to deal with this particular menace. So these were the issues discussed, and their excellencies then set up a committee, agreed that a committee should be set up with the members drawn from ministers from selected countries, who would then work together under the leadership of the Prime Minister of Ethiopia and come up with a plan of action that will be tabled before the African Union Summit taking place in Equatorial Guinea between June 25 and June 26. The other thing to note, of course, about this meeting is that, again, it puts the issue of terrorism in Nigeria and other African countries in the front burner, at the top of the agenda, of the continental agenda.
President Goodluck Jonathan took time out of the security meeting to felicitate with South Africans on the inauguration of the South African president for a second term. He dismissed reports in some quarters that the president was booed in South Africa, describing the story as false.
It was also an opportunity for President Jonathan to rejoice with the government and the people of South Africa on the successful conclusion of the last general elections in that country, which was generally adjudged to be free and fair and peaceful, and with very successful outcome. It is unfortunate that on our arrival, I read one or two reports alleging that the president was jeered at the inauguration ceremony. This is absolutely untrue, and those who are peddling that kind of misinformation are being unfair, they are being uncharitable, and it fits into an ongoing attempt to throw just about anything at this administration in an attempt to discredit the administration.
He said Nigeria and South Africa are two friendly and brotherly countries with very strong bilateral relations in many areas, including trade and investments, and they will go to any lengths to support Nigeria to get rid of the terrorists who seem to be ravaging the continent. Chukuma Onekwusi, Channels Television News.